Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bean Turtle as always. Today I am going to be talking about the Tornado IDS WTD61. Yes, very short, very convenient and easy to say name. This thing is actually really surprising me. I was looking through various things like the statistics and medals, stuff like that, and something stuck out of me immediately with the Tornado in comparison to every other vehicle that I've ever used. So first of all, I bought this on sale, and I haven't used it that much. I've used it for a few, like quite a few games. I think say 26, yeah, 26 games. Some of which have been air realistic, some of which have been ground realistic actually. And I like to use it with my leopards that I've gotten over the years. But it is very interesting to point out that my win ratio with this in realistic battles with the WTD 61 is 73%. And so, if you remember or you happen to see my previous video specifically on the sales, I actually kind of slandered this thing. I was like, what is this thing doing? You know, it has no weapon, no cool weapons. It's 11-3 with what, just two AIM 9Ls. That's it. You can't have any better air-to-air weapons. It doesn't have a nice rotary cannon like, say the F-16 or anything like that. It has these two, like, I would say World War II style 27 millimeter machine guns. They're pretty solid, by the way, but that's like what it has. It's kind of, I expected so much less from what it does. It only has 1,000 kilogram or 1,000 pound bombs. Sorry, only has 1,000 pound bombs. That's it, and you can carry up to 12 of them. Well, actually 13. I think it's 6, and 1 in the middle. But I never carry that middle one because there's no reason to. So you can carry 13. And the flares and slash chaff, the flares and chaff are on these pods on the outside. There are actually no internal flares on this plane. So you're kind of looking at this and you're like, okay, this is terrible. However, it's really not. It is amazingly one of the better vehicles I have actually played in a while. So if we ignore all of those games that I've played recently and go down here to my combat log, this is the most recent game right here that I played with the IDS. You can see right here, Air Realistic. I lost this one, but for a loss, I got 2 base destructions. I had only a 10% booster, right? So that's like a bad game. That is a bad game. Okay, another 65, 173. Let's see what I did here. I destroyed some ground targets. So yes, this weapon, this plane, can be used just like I used the A10. If you've seen my A10 video, you're gonna love this thing, and it goes fast. Okay, damage to the enemy. Of course, those are AI. Those are that I shot with machine gun bolts, and I'll show you this. I think I have this game recorded for y'all, so I'll show you this one if I have it. I got to destroy 3 bases because I landed, got some more bombs, came back and blew up another one, etc. And my grand total reward for that, 173,000 silver lions. That's a lot, okay? That's a lot of gambling boxes when those come back around. 30,000 research points right here. So I do not have, or I do now have the HE 162, which is a late war jet from the Germans, and I was able to effectively research half of it, if I remember correctly. So, or a third. Okay, a third. Right. So this is not the experience I was expecting. I was expecting to, use it as a grinder, but I was expecting to suffer. I was expecting these missiles to never hit a target. They do, spoiler alert. I was expecting to, it's a bomb sled, but like you're never going to get to the base half the time. Kind of like the experience that I have, honestly, with an SU-25. SU-25, you're kind of a sitting duck. You're a little faster than the A10, but that's about it. Try to get to a base, blow some stuff up. Cannon sucks, that kind of thing. No, I've been amazed. And so you'd think, you look at this, you think 11-3 matchmaker. Okay, that's rough. 11-3 matchmaker is really high for a plane that has, at most, this loadout. All right, 28 flares, 28 flares, 340 chaff. So a lot of chaff, but not a lot of flares. And so you get a total of, I think it's 56. Yeah, 56 flares. Split that in half, and so you only get 28 pops of the flares because it fires 2 every time you hit the button. You can change that in settings, but it makes it easier to fool missiles. It burns fuel like crazy, Like, this thing eats through fuel, but honestly, you're not going to notice. You get about an hour of fuel. I put in quotes an hour. After you've done everything interesting, that's when you're concerned about running out of fuel. So you got to watch your burner a little bit. At 11.3, you expect this to be a problem. You're matching against phantoms. Okay, so you're fighting against phantoms that have shiny missiles. You're fighting at 11.3. You're capable of matching F-14s. You're capable of matching some of, or you were at least capable of matching some of the lower tier. Wow, they changed that quickly. I didn't know that patch came out today. It used to be the F-16 was 12.0, so you could match that. But those are all gone, it would appear. You're going to be matching F5s all the time, every day. Some of the predators of this game. And so, it sounds like it would be terrible, but it really isn't. It's honestly great. And then to add on to it, to add on to how awesome this is, it for ground battles is 10-3 because they added the split matchmaker. So this thing in normal ground battles kind of useless, right? Because you only get targeting, you get CCIP for your bombs and cannons, but you don't have any cool guided weapons, you don't have any TV missiles, you don't have any of that cool stuff like any of the other stuff has. So they kind of balance it out by dropping the BR to 10-3, which is great because you'll never see a bloody Panseer. You'll never see some of the higher tier SPAAs that'll shoot you down, such as the stupid Strelas. I mean, you'll see Strelas, but rarely. I haven't seen as many of these recently. But you'll never see a Panseer, which should not. This should be like 13-7 by itself. Like if this is in the game, it should be at the top of the lobby because it shouldn't be in the game. Um, right? So you won't see a lot of the incredibly like brutal AAs, with the exception of like Strelas. So there's a huge advantage there, and the bombs are good. 1,000-pound bombs do in fact destroy targets. I have done it multiple times. In fact, if you look at my stats again, a lot of my ground kills are actually players, not just AI targets I've shot. So it's pretty good. And again, I want to stress 73% win rate. There's something up with the matchmaker. So between air realistic and ground realistic, Germany is eating good right now. So, like, I'm going to recommend that. Like, Germany is eating good. And so, I mean, my ground experience has not been as amazing, but my air experience has been great. So, as a user guide for this plane, what I would say that you need to do for a loadout, the easiest way to do it, well, obviously you want to have your chaffs at the corners. You want to have your AIM-9Ls. And you got to remember that this thing has a very powerful engine, so it can carry a lot, and it can carry it quickly, right? So you go through here, add all of your bombs. These are the biggest ones you can carry, so it's just easy just to do that. You can double it. Sometimes I run single bombs if I want to get off the runway faster, but for the most part, I just run this. You'll be a little slower than some people, but then you'll catch up. You'll usually hit the bases at about the same time as the annoying F4S farmers as well. Which, granted, that's what your job is too, so it's not really up to them or your problem, whatever. But you add that together, this is 2 bases. Okay, so I have it here, 1 base, 2 base. That's how I just keep track of these things. 6 bombs per base. There's a really useful feature where you can set your bomb load salvo. I put in quotes. I don't know if it's salvo, but something like that. Bomb series is what it's called. I have it bound to the apostrophe key, or the apostrophe key, and I have it set to where it will drop 6 for the tornado. You just fly over it, get your little crosshair, your virtual crosshair over the base, and drop your 6 and leave. Go to the next one. And it's very easy to do in air realistic. Of course, Sim, I don't play Sim, but Sim is a little bit more involved, but I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing with that same hotkey. So it's really good. But otherwise, like, that's really just it. On top of that, like, on top of the bases, you can fight people. It does not turn. This plane does not like to turn. I would like to reinforce that. If you're buying this to be a fighter, don't. If you want a fighter, buy this thing. I know it's not German or American or whatever, it's Russian, but the MiG-23ML is a fighter if you want to buy a fighter. If you want to fight If you want to be a multi-role, you want this thing. Only problem, as I said, you cannot turn. You have to um, outspeed your opponents. You are at this BR faster than everyone else. You just straight up are faster, maybe with the exception of the F104s. So, like even maybe even with the F4Js, F4Ss, that kind of thing. Specifically, what I'm referring to in this case that you'll see more of are the F5s, both C and E at this bracket. So we look at this. F5C is now 11.0 and F5E is 11.0. I don't know why they're the same, but they are. You'll see both of these a lot, mostly F5C because it's premium. You are way faster than this plane. Do not let this plane scare you. It will scare you because it can turn like 4 times. Like in the time it takes you to take a turn with the tornado, you will turn 4 times with this thing. That's exaggeration, but this thing's better at turning. What you end up doing is use it as an energy fighter. If they're coming in behind you, what you do is you just fly up into space. All right, you just disappear, and there's nothing that these things can do to catch you. The max speed is way lower of the F5E than the max speed of the Tornado. The Tornado is Mach 2 capable, right? The F5 is not. So use that to your advantage, that you can just disappear while he's trying to turn fight you. Never get into a turn fight. That's how you die. I will say I did win a turn fight with an F5C one time. That was pretty funny, but it was more because I managed to make him mess up more than me doing better. And the best uses for your missiles, your AIM-9Ls, they're not AIM-9Ms. They're not going to just fly into your target guaranteed. They are capable of being like spoofed, I put in quotes, or whatever they prefer to call it. I don't know, tricked by flares very easily, actually. And sometimes multiple different enemies will freak out the missile and it'll miss both of them. So, you have to know how these missiles work, but they are still very solid. If a person is unaware and you tell them to hold the missile, it will connect. It will hit them. They are pretty good in all aspect uses. They are great for rear aspect. So that's usually the easiest way to do it is just to find someone who's not quite paying attention and throw a missile at them. And what are your rewards for using this vehicle, which cost real money? And maybe you bought it maybe you bought this and are trying to figure out really how to use it, or you haven't used it yet. Your rewards that you can get as you move up the German tech tree. Currently, there's not a lot, which is kind of weird, but there's this new plane, the F4F Ice, that came out. It looks like it has a pretty large radar. It has AIM 120s. So there you go. AIM 120s for you if you want to use this thing once you unlock that. Um, there is also the MiG 29 here. And there's another Tornado IDS. So there you go. That is the kind of stuff you can grind out. I wish Germany was given more things, specifically Western things, because East Germany is not the only thing Germany has done. So, but that is something for us to see going forward, hopefully. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was a good, useful video, good guide if you were deciding on buying it or not. If you do, I actually have been pleasantly surprised. I did not really expect much from this. I kind of got it for extras because I wanted to move through 3, but it's been amazing. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you have fun with this thing if you choose to buy it, or if you already have. I'd wait for a sale. Of course, sales are always better than spending $60 or $70 on pixels. I would recommend the sale option, but yeah, it's pretty fun. I like it. So thank you for watching, and if you want to watch more, I have lots of videos up at this area of the screen. Well, it'll be like here, and I don't know. We'll see. All right. Have a good day.